Hey guys, it's Kimberlee and today's video is super exciting, hot off the press review of the brand new Urban Decay Stoned Vibes palette. Are we kidding? Look at how gorgeous this packaging is. It is so pretty. If you guys don't know, Urban Decay just launched a new collection, the Stoned Vibes collection that launched today actually. Well, yesterday when you're watching this, but it launched today, August 30th, both online and in stores at Ulta. So just another reason why I'm so excited to work next door to an Ulta. I got to get my hands on this palette and pick it up right now, so I'm so excited to get this out to you guys nice and prompt and fast so that you guys can check it out and see if you want to get one yourself. The collection had a few different items in it. It had a palette, it had a few different lip glosses, it had some of the eyeliners, and it had a highlighter. Now, the lip glosses, I was like, I've got plenty of lip gloss, not really into it. They were weird, short little packages. I was like, I don't really need that. The palette, obviously, very interested in. I picked one up. The eyeliners were pretty, but I just didn't think I needed them either at the moment. But I really, really wanted to pick up the highlighter. It looks like gemstones. It's so cool looking. It looked gorgeous. They didn't have any at the location that I was at, so I didn't get that. And I just really wanted to get this video out to you guys as soon as possible. So maybe in the future I will get it and try it because it does look literally so beautiful. But I just wanted to review the palette as soon as I could so that you guys could see it since it did just launch today. So yeah, I have the palette here for you guys and it is beautiful. Honestly, I saw some advertisements for this on Instagram and just all of that kind of stuff online, and I thought it looked interesting, but I thought it looked maybe like a little chintzy, like packaging wise, or like a little gimmicky, but oh my gosh, it's beautiful. I would never say that again. I like take that back wholeheartedly. So this is the unicarton, and you can see it's like so glittery and beautiful. And then on the back, they show you a little preview of the eyeshadows, and it does come with a brush. It has been a minute since I have had a Urban Decay palette. I mean, I have 1 and 2, Naked 1 and 2, but those are the only 2 palettes I had, and those were like the first eyeshadow palettes I like ever got. So I haven't purchased an Urban Decay palette in a while, so that also made me very excited. My sister loves Urban Decay. I just purchased Naked 3 for her as a little fun surprise, but she loves their palettes, like obsessed. So I don't know, I'm excited. And here's what the actual palette itself looks like. It is so cool. It has that same design with the crystals, but I don't know if you can see, it's actually 3D. Like, this is hard plastic kind of raised into those little gemstones with the color underneath, and it is so, so gorgeous. It is a pretty thick package, and it is all plastic, hard plastic, but it is pretty. I feel like the bulky chunkiness of it is part of the reason that I thought it didn't look, I don't know, like it looked a little chintzy. Like, I love their smooth velvety packaging. I feel like this is just a little chunky dunky, but honestly, the fact that this is 3D is so cool, and I do really, really appreciate it now that I see it in person. And we open her up, huge mirror right there, and look at all of those shadows. They are gorgeous. Oh my gosh. And of course, it comes with one of their dual-ended brushes, which I think it's cute. It's adorable. I love that. So this is a 12 pan eyeshadow palette, and we have 4 matte shades and 8 of these like shimmery, beautiful shadows. I feel like with the brush in the middle, this is again just a personal preference, but with the little hole in the brush that sits in the center, I feel like, again, that was just one of the things that made me feel like it looked cheap, which literally doesn't mean anything. The eyeshadow quality obviously could be amazing. Just the packaging, I would never put a brush in the center, so I just feel like that, I don't know. It makes me almost feel like they're trying to do something different, trying to do something cool, but in my mind it's just like, there's a big hole in the middle of the palette. But that's just personal preference. But it is gorgeous, and I'm going to swatch some shades for you right now. So here we have the 4 matte shades. Starting at the top, if you can barely even see it, it's like my skin tone. We have Good Karma, then we have Antidote, we have Hexed, and Third Eye, and they are all really soft, creamy feeling. They don't feel like creamy as in wet, but they feel like buttery, smooth, soft, like velvet almost. They're just like really, really soft feeling matte shades, and they look beautiful, and they're very complementary to all of the shimmery shadows, which I absolutely love. I rarely ever do an all matte eyeshadow look. I am a big proponent of the glittery, shimmery eyelids, so this makes me excited because there are definitely some gem tones that I don't really have in my collection already, so let's swatch those. Okay, so there are all 8 of these shimmery shadows. First off at the top, we have the shade Jade, which is a beautiful green jade color, of course. Then we have Opal Aura, which looks like a really light blue in the pan, but it is like this silvery shimmer with blue and purple reflex in it. It's gorgeous. And then we have Tiger's Eye, which is the gold. Then we have Vibes, which is this beautiful like rose gold, pinky purpley shade. Gorgeous. And then we have this shade Bloodstone, which is the craziest palette. Craziest eyeshadow. Let me just tell you, look at this eyeshadow. This one is Bloodstone. It looks green in the palette. It's like this dark green, but when you swatch it, it's like straight up red, which is so cool. And if you get it in the right light, it's like a red with a green sparkle running through it. It is like a magic, because that is not all what the shadow looks like in the palette. Then this blue is Ojo? I don't really know. It's O-J-O. I am like the worst at things like that, so I'm not really sure. But I'm gonna say Ojo? I don't know, but it's pretty. And then the next one is called Raw Energy, which definitely is the driest feeling shadow. The other ones go on really creamy and really pigmented, and there's still pigment here. I mean, it's just a light shade, but it definitely feels the driest. And that is like a purpley, like a frosty lavender shade. And then last we have Meditate, which is just this beautiful like bronzy pink kind of a color. Gorgeous. All of these are so pretty, and I feel like so fun, and they're all very different, which I really, really appreciate. So I'm super excited, and let's just put these on my eyes. I can't wait another minute. So first we're gonna go in with a big fluffy brush and this shade right here, this bone shade called Good Karma, and we are just going to lay that all over the eye as a transition shade. Then I'm gonna go in with this other matte shade, slightly darker. It's like a peachy tone, and it's called Antidote, and I'm going to take that with the same brush and just put it in the crease area. Now on a smaller blending brush, I'm gonna go in with this matte purple shade right here called Third Eye, and I'm going to put that in the crease, mainly on the outer corner, just to give some depth. Honestly, that is a very lighter wash of color than I anticipated. I switched brushes because the first brush I was using is very flimsy. It's not very dense at all. So I thought maybe it just wasn't firm enough to pick up enough pigment. I switched over to this brush, which is a little bit firmer, and I'm like really going into the shadow. And I mean, it is laying down color, but it is much sheerer than I anticipated, especially with all of these fun shimmers, and not all of them are super light. This is the darkest matte in the palette, and I honestly don't think that that is that dark. So something to note. I definitely think that I would have liked, you know, it swatches beautifully, but I think I would have liked for it to have a little bit more pigment when you're using a brush. Okay, so now that I have that down, I'm gonna go in with the shimmers, and I'm going to use my fingers because that is my favorite way to apply shimmers. Sorry if things look a little bit different. My battery died, so I just had to change it out. But like I said, I'm going to go in with some shimmer shades with my fingers, and I'm going to first dive into this Vibes shade, and I'm just gonna put that all over my lid. Literally gorgeous. That is gorgeous. That has so much sparkle and so much reflect to it. I absolutely love it. And these aren't glittery at all. They look very textured, but that's just the way they look. They're literally not glittery. They're just foiled and shimmery, but they pack a big punch, that is for sure. So now that I have that laid down, I want to go in with another color. I think I'm going to go in with the one that looks baby blue. This is Opal Aura, but it's, like I said, it's more of like a silver with like a little bit of a pinky purple reflect. I think that will look pretty with the Vibes shade. And I'm actually going to open up this brush and use the brush that I came with. I'm going to use the little flat packer side of the brush. Feels nice, feels just like all their other brushes. And I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that shade if I can. And I think I'm just going to put it on like the inner corner portion of the lid. And on the actual inner corner. Yeah. Since that first color was like a pinky rose gold kind of a color, and this is like a pink shimmer throughout like a silvery blue, I feel like they blend together really pretty and they match really well. They're not super contrasty, but that's not what I wanted, so I love this. So now I'm going to do the lower lash line, and I'm going to go in with this Antidote shade right there, and I'm going to just put it along my lower lash line. And lastly, I'm just going to go in with this flat definer brush. This is the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill JH43 brush, and I'm going to put this into that dark purple third eye shade, this one right here, and I'm just going to tap this really tight next to my waterline. Perfect. I absolutely love the way that this looks. So now I'm going to throw on some mascara and lashes, and I'll be right back. All right, I am back. I put on a little mascara and I put on these lashes. These are the D-Star lashes, of course, in the style Deborah. I am obsessed with this style. I think this might be my favorite, but I just love how they're heavier on the outsides and thinner on the insides, so they give you that wing effect, and I feel like it's just my favorite. I just absolutely love that. So I feel like it complements this look beautifully, and yeah, I'm super happy with it. I put on the Kylie Cosmetics like bullet lipstick in this shade Creme Brulee, which is just, I absolutely love it. It's like a perfect light nude to go with anything. So I absolutely love it, and let's talk about my final thoughts on this palette. Final thoughts are, I like this palette a lot more than I thought I was going to. However, I don't think it's a perfect palette. I think it's a little chunky, but it is not nearly the chunkiest palette I have in my collection, so it's not overall that big of a deal. I think that this is so cool. Oh my gosh, I love the texture on the front of this palette. I think it's beautiful. I think it's really cool. I think that the inside looks a little gimmicky with the slot in the center. I think that's a little weird. I don't see why they don't just like put it at the bottom. But again, that is so picky and like probably nobody cares. And I love all of the shimmery shadows. I think they're so pretty. I love all the colors. I feel like it is perfect for this time of year because there are some light shimmery shadows like the ones I have on my eyes. But then there are some darker ones like Bloodstone and Ojo, where I feel like they're perfect for like the fall and transitioning into the fall time, which is my favorite season ever. So like I'm very excited about it, but I feel like this can lean either way, summer or fall, and I feel like you can really make it work, which is awesome. And then my last complaint is that the darkest shadow in the whole palette, the darkest matte shadow in the whole palette, third eye, is just not dark enough. I have it on my eyes right now, and I think it's gorgeous, and I absolutely love it, and it pairs great with the Shimmers Vibes and Opal Aura that I have on my eyes, but I feel like it is way too light to pair with if you wanted to put Bloodstone on your lid or if you wanted to put Ojo on your lid. It's just like a wash of dark purple and not like solid dark purple. And these shimmers are solid and dark, and I feel like I always like my outer corner, my crease, my matte shade to be the darkest thing and then my shimmer to pop on top. So, I mean, if you're not into that, then this might be great for you, but I really appreciate the mainly shimmer shadows because I am a sucker for shimmers. I mean, they're what get me excited, but I just feel like I love this shade and I wish it showed up this dark and this pigmented on the eyes because I just feel like I would have to go into another palette to use some of these shimmers because I don't feel like the mattes, you know? I love the shade selection that they have for the mattes. I just don't think this is pigmented enough, really, is what I think. But overall, I do really enjoy the palette, and I definitely think I will be grabbing it for shimmery shades because they are very shimmery and very reflective, and I die for that. I absolutely love it. So yeah, this palette retails for $54 along with pretty much the majority of all of the Urban Decay palettes. So it is so gorgeous. At the moment, you can pick it up online or in stores at Ulta, and I'm sure you can pick it up online at the actual Urban Decay website, but it's not yet in Sephora. It is coming to Sephora, just not yet. But yeah, I like it. It's good. It's not my favorite palette in my collection, but it is by far not my least favorite palette in my collection, and it will get loved. So overall, I'm happy with the look that I created. Tell me what you guys think. Do you like it? Is this a palette that interests you at all? Would you think about picking it up? Do you absolutely not like the idea of it? What do you think? Because I'm curious to hear it. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.